Now, with Bluehost being the host of over 2 million websites, you might be wondering why that is and if it's worth choosing over any other web hosting service. So today we're going to figure out whether or not it's a good choice for you and your situation. Because sure, having such a vast customer base may be enough evidence that they are doing something right. The uptime is reliable, server speeds are good, and all their hosting plans pack useful features for beginners and intermediates alike. However, there are a few downsides, like the higher renewal prices and some restrictions on the cheapest plan. We'll be talking all about that in this review, and if at any point you want to jump straight to the pricing or discounts, you'll find all of that in the description down below. Alright, now Bluehost has been around since 2003, so they have plenty of experience to know what makes a hosting service excellent. Let's take a more detailed look at Bluehost's strong points, starting with uptime, which is one of the most critical aspects when choosing a web host. After all, if your site is down, your users can't access it, so consistent uptime should be one of your top priorities when looking at hosting services. After reviewing many web hosts, the benchmark for good uptime is between 99.91% and 99.93%. So ideally, you don't want to see anything less than that. The good news is that Bluehost easily surpasses this benchmark, comfortably maintaining an uptime of over 99.93% during most months. Although over the past 10 months, there have been some poor months where the uptime was below average. But to be fair, I didn't really notice any major outages as I ran my website. So practically speaking, from my experience, the uptime has been excellent. Now regarding load speed, according to research conducted by Google, as page load time goes from 1 second to 3 seconds, the probability of bounce increases by 32%. Now this translates to your visitors being 32% more likely to leave your website, and it only gets worse with longer page load times. Google is also more geared towards mobile-first indexing. This means that your site also needs to be optimized for mobile users, or otherwise you're losing traffic. Either way, a slow website almost always means less traffic and therefore lower sales numbers. So right after uptime, page loading time is the second most important thing that can make or break your website's success. My test site with Bluehost has offered an average load speed of around 655 milliseconds over the past few months. Now, this isn't the fastest speed I've seen among other hosts, but it's still good enough to keep visitors on your site. Now let's move on to pricing, because Bluehost's default pricing is around $3 a month, which is an introductory price from the regular $10.99 a month rate. You can check the links in the description down below if you want to get the best deals possible. And for this price, you get pretty much everything you need for a single website. That includes 10 gigabytes SSD storage, unmetered bandwidth, a free SSL certificate, and more. And you'd be getting a pretty good value deal for this price. Plus, there are great uptime and decent load speeds. Still, the cheapest plan does have a few restrictions that I'm not really happy with, but more on that later on. Now, since Bluehost is one of the more budget-friendly options on the market, I'm pleased to see that they don't cut too many corners on critical security options and features. Already with the cheapest plan, Bluehost provides your site with a free SSL certificate. You also get access to great features like a free CDN or Cloudflare, a free domain for a year, a one-click WordPress install, multiple CMS integrations, and additional e-commerce plugins. Higher tier plans, of course, come with Spam Experts add-on, domain privacy protection, and server backups. Also, you get more advanced security features such as site lock, which helps prevent malware attacks. CodeGuard is another form of protection, providing daily backups so you can roll back previous versions of a site should it get hacked. And Postini is another security tool that's worth taking note of. It provides spam protection for your email, so anything suspicious is prevented from getting into your inbox. So as far as security, Bluehost got that covered even with the introductory plan, which is always great to see. Next up is how easy it is to use for beginners, because this is very important, as some of the websites I've seen can be considered the best only if you're an advanced user, but Bluehost is great for beginners too. Their customer portal is intuitive and clean. You can access your site under My Sites and get add-ons from the marketplace. Everything is made very simple and the client area is very beginner friendly. If you don't want to use WordPress, you can also begin creating a site with a website builder tool such as Weebly or Drupal. You can then customize a template by just dragging and dropping elements onto your page. Bluehost, of course, also has features for advanced users who want to use their code to create their site. Now, customer service can be just as important as security and features, and Bluehost provides 24/7 customer support over live chat, phone, and an email ticketing system. On top of that, they have a vast knowledge base packed with answers to frequently asked questions and useful information. I went ahead and tested the live chat option, and the experience was overall pleasant. My conversation with the customer support rep was professional, and all of my questions were answered in a timely manner. All right, now, if you already have a site and want to switch to Bluehost's hosting plan, this is a perk for you. Bluehost only recently started offering a free site transfer with all of their plans. There are a couple of terms to this service, though. First, the site needs to be a WordPress site, and secondly, you have to request the migration within the first 30 days after signing up with a hosting plan. All you need to do is contact their customer support team and follow their directions. Their migration should take around 1 to 3 business days to complete. And if you don't have a WordPress website, or you have more than one, then it will cost you $150. Now, this $150 will get you up to 5 website migrations and 20 email account migrations. Now, a pro tip, it's always a good idea to check with our customer support whether your site built by any other builder than WordPress is supported by their servers for migration. For example, I know that sites built with Wix are not eligible for transfer, so this is where you probably want to talk to them if you had your website built with Wix. All right, now before moving on to the downsides of Bluehost, it's important to note that WordPress is the most widely used website platform on the market. 42% of the entire internet is built with WordPress. It's safe to say that they have an authoritative word when it comes to hosting solutions. I mean, WordPress only officially recommends 3 hosting partners to use with a WordPress site. That'll be Bluehost, DreamHost, and SiteGround. Of course, you can use almost any web hosting provider to create a WordPress site, but the fact that Bluehost is one of the few officially recognized partners is certainly encouraging. All right, now, although Bluehost has some great perks going for their hosting service, there are a couple of hiccups too. Even though I'm happy to see such low introductory prices, the renewal rates can get a little bit too steep. So let's take a closer look. The best way to get the lowest possible price for hosting is to prepay for 1, 2, or even 3 years upfront. Now, while the average monthly price goes down, you're also committing hundreds of dollars in advance. But rest assured, you can use the 30-day money-back guarantee to get a refund if you don't like their service. However, once the initial plan duration is over, you can expect a steep rise in the rates. Let's say you commit to the cheapest plan for 3 years, which is $295 a month. After the initial period, the next period's renewal price starts at $899 a month with a 3-year commitment. After the initial period, the next period's renewal price starts at $1099 a month with a 3-year commitment. In this case, the subsequent period is more than 3 times more expensive than the first. So it's something to be mindful of so that you're not surprised the next time you're charged for your subscription after the first initial term. Another potential downside is the fact that Bluehost's cheapest shared hosting plan comes with some heavy restrictions. You can only have a single website, the storage space is limited, and the only security feature you get is a free SSL certificate and Cloudflare. So if you have multiple sites or want more security, you have to go at least for the next pricing tier, which is twice as expensive. Sadly, such restrictions on the cheapest plan are quite common in the web hosting industry. The companies compete over who can lure the customers in with the lowest price, only to upsell a decent hosting service at a higher price. Also, if you're going with the cheaper plans, at least Bluehost will run courtesy backups at their own discretion. Any backup that Bluehost runs are in addition to their terms of service and are not guaranteed though. And so they recommend that customers run periodic backups through the provided cPanel. Bluehost recommends that you also store such backups off-site on your local system, but if you want automated backups, you'll have to go with the Choice Plus plan or above. All right, so by now, you're probably thinking, what's the bottom line? Do I recommend Bluehost? Well, to put it simply, yes, I definitely do. Even though Bluehost has performed slightly better in the past, they still provide a reliable service with consistent server speeds. Not to mention that they're also offering very strong security options, a great money-back guarantee, plenty of user-friendly apps, and multiple tiers of hosting packages that are suitable for different types of people. The pricing starts at $12.95, so feel free to claim this kind of pricing if it's not available to you. You can click the link in the description to claim the special price. And yes, I know Bluehost isn't perfect. The hosting plan's renewal rates will increase dramatically after the initial sign-up period, and the cheapest plan has some critical restrictions compared to the next tiers. But again, Bluehost does deliver very good performance and great value for your money, especially if you're a beginner looking for a great web host with award-winning customer support. So that'll be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it or learned something new, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And also a like and subscribe would be very helpful for me, and it will keep you up to date with future videos and reviews. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.